Hello friends, today we are going to study about the business environment. Why this topic? Because every organization, including a business organization, operates in a context. This context lies outside the organization with which it interacts continuously. And this context is known as an organization's environment in case of a business organization. Now we will going to study about the different environment which are affecting the business environment. So the first we will see that is economic environment or the factors of economic environment. In this there are different points through which we can understand what are the different things through which the economic factor is affecting to the business environment. So the very first is economic system. Economic system of a country determines the extent to which business organizations find freedom and constrained by the economic factors. For example, in three economic systems, that is capitalist, mixed and socialist, business organizations face different types of freedom and control. Least control in the capitalist economy and most control in socialist economy with mixed economy falling in between. Then we can say the mixed economy will be fall in between capitalist economy and socialist economy. India being a mixed economy, private sector organizations face more controls as compared to public sector organizations. Understood? Now the second we will see that is national income and its distribution. Now the national income is defined as the monetary value of economic activities of a country for 1 year period. Along with national income, its distribution is also important because level of income determines the purchasing power of the people of a country. So we can say the higher the level of national income, higher is the purchasing power of the people. Distribution of the national income determines the types of product that may be purchased by the people. Now, so for because of this, higher the disparity in distribution of national income, we can say higher is the variability in demand of different types of products. In India, there is a very high disparity in distribution of a national income. Okay, fine with this. Now the third we will see that is rates of saving and investment. In this we will see the rate of saving denote the proportion of total income which is saved. Now the investment denote the proportion of saving channelized into a productive process. If both saving and investment rates high, more funds are made available for the productive purpose. Now in India, the rate of saving is very high as the people are future oriented because of its cultural characteristics in a different cultural characteristics as shown in a different research. Okay, now the next we will see that is rate of economic growth. Rate of economic growth indicate the pace of economic development in a country. This growth is measured on overall basis as well as sector wise like industry, agriculture and service. Further growth in a particular sector is measured in terms of a subsectors. In India, we can say the rate of economic growth is much higher than the average growth rate of the world. A higher rate indicate that scope of undertaking business activities is more higher. Okay, understood this fourth? Okay. Now the fifth we will say that is monetary policy. Monetary policy involves determination of expansion or contraction of money supply in an economic system. The level of money supply determines the rate of interest on borrowings by business organization as well as availability of money to them. Now both of these affect economic growth. So we can say higher money supply leads to higher economic growth and lower rate of interest. In India, again we can say the Reserve Bank of India formulates and operates monetary policy keeping in view three objectives. That is, the first one is to provide necessary money to the business. The second is to control the inflationary pressure, and the third one is to generate and maintain the high employment. Okay, now the sixth one we will see, that is fiscal policy. Fiscal policy deals with tax structure and government expenditure. Now it affects economic activities through rates of different types of taxes and level of government expenditure. If rate of taxes are high, these become constraint on economic activities. If government expenditure for productive purpose is high, it stimulate economic activity. Now you understood the difference? Okay. Now in India, again we can say fiscal policy is adopted for the following purposes, like mobilizing maximum possible financial resources for the government, then optimum allocation of financial resources for rapid economic growth, and the last one, attainment of equality in income and maintain of reasonably possible stability of prices. Understood about fiscal policy? Okay, now we will go to the next point, that is international trade pattern. International trade pattern includes pattern of import and export. So we can say if import is higher than the export, it shows negative balance of the trade because we are importing more from the another country. Okay, so linked with international trade pattern, balance of payment position is determined. In India, again we can say through balance of trade is negative, balance of payment is robust because inflow of foreign capital in the form of foreign direct investment. Understood about international trade pattern? Okay, so we will see the next point, that is debt burden. Now what do we mean by debt burden? Debt burden of a country is the amount of outstanding debt raised by a country both from internal and external sources. If debt burden of a country is high in proportion to its paying capacity, it is a signal of economic weakness which affects economic development adversely. Again in India we can say India has a high debt burden through its paying capacity is also high. Means we can say the India has a debt burden though its capacity is also high. Okay, now the next we will see, that is natural resources. Natural resources, like a country has a land, water, mineral and other deposits, crude oils, forest, etc. Availability of natural resources affects economic activity of a country. In India, again we can say some of the natural resources are available in a plenty, but some natural resources are in a short supply, for example crude oils. Okay, now the next point is infrastructure. Infrastructure includes various basic facilities which are helpful in performing economic activities like transportation, communication, banking services, financial services, insurance, etc. In India, we can say while some of these facilities are available to the satisfactory level, others are not up to the mark. Now the next one, that is raw materials. Raw materials are required for processing by business to manufacture semi-finished or finished goods. The economic development of a country depends to a great extent on the availability of various types of raw material in the country. Again in India, availability of some raw materials is satisfactory, but certain types of raw material are imported from the other countries. Now the last point we will see, that is human resources and productivity. Human resources include all those persons who are capable for performing various economic activities are and are willing to engage in performing such activities. Now, the availability of human resources in a country is a positive feature for economic development. Along with the availability of human resources, their productivity is also important as it determines the effectiveness of business organization to the great extent. In India, we can say availability of human resources is quite high, but their productivity, at least in some sectors, is not up to the desirable level. Okay, now we have finished with the economic environment points. So we will go to the next factors of different environment, that is factors of social environment. Now the factors of social environment includes various points. The first one is attitudes of the society. Now the attitudes are the persistent tendency to feel and behave in a favorable or unfavorable way towards objects, person and ideas. We can say the attitudes of the society towards business, particularly its objectives and functioning, are important for the business as these affect the acceptance or rejections of objectives and management practices pursued by the business as a system and individual organizations as its subsystems. Okay, now the second we will see, that is social beliefs and customs. In this we can say the beliefs are somewhat enduring perceptions of a people about any phenomenon. Customs are the patterns of a social engagements. Both belief and customs affect what products will be accepted or rejected and what products are required for a special occasions. Okay, understood. Now the third we will see, that is social values. Social values are the convictions about desirable or undesirable behaviors. We can say the social values shape the reactions of the society towards ethical or unethical practices of the business. Now the fourth one we will see, that is desires and expectations. Desires represent what people of the society wish to have or not have, and expectations are in a form of what is expected from the business. Both taken together affect whether the business is up to the desires and expectations of the people. And the last point, that is education level. Education level shows the level of education in terms of coverage of population and degree to which people are educated in the society. This affects availability of educated people to be employed by the business. In India, we can say of late expectations of the society from business have increased considerably. Today, majority of the customers have become discerning and they want value of money which they spend in buying various products. Therefore, business organizations have to offer their products of a desirable quality with commensurate prices. Okay, now we have understood about the different factors of the social environment. Now we will see the different factors, that is factors of technological environment. The first one is level of technological development. Level of technological development in a country refers to the level to which various technologies have been developed. In this we can say higher level of technological development is a positive feature for the country as its organizations can procure required technologies from internal sources. Understood? Now the second we will see that is rate of technological change. Rate of technological change indicates the frequency of change in a technology. Rate of technological change varies across business sectors. In some sectors, rate of technological change may be slow, while in others it may be quite fast. For example, in information technology, rate of technological change is so fast that a new technology emerges before the old technology is fully assimilated. Okay. Now the third, that is extent of use of particular advances. There are some technological advances like emergence of internet, cell phones, e-commerce, etc. The extent to which these are used in a country to desirable level and its technological environment is perceived as advanced as these advances lead to conduct business operations in a much more better way. Now the last we will see that is sources of technology acquisition. Sources of technology acquisition indicate the sources from which relevant technology may be acquired. In a country, sources of technology acquisition may be divided into two groups. That is, the first one is internal sources and the second one is external sources. Which sources will be adopted by the individual organization depends on the level of technological development in the country and facilities for acquiring technology from external sources. In India, we can say in some sectors, level of technological development is satisfactory, while in the other sectors, technology has not been acquired from overseas. However, we can say the country has ample facilities for acquiring technology from overseas sources. Now the next we will see that is factors of political environment. In this, the first we will see that is government system. Government system includes how a government is formed and how it works. Depending on the government system of the country, head of the government assumes power for governance of the country. For example, in a presidential system of a democracy, the president is much more powerful than a prime minister of a parliamentary democracy. In a non-democratic country, head of the government in a form of president may assume more discretionary power. Now the second one is political stability. Political stability refers to the extent to which a particular political system works as well as the extent to which government is stable. Now the higher political stability is a positive feature for the country. Now the third point is political parties and their ideologies. The number of political parties and their ideologies in a country are significant for the business organizations. Significant means what? It is important. If the number of political parties with diverse ideologies is quite high, this is not only creates political uncertainty but may result in a discontinuation of policies related to business operations. Now the fourth is political interference in a business. The degree of political interference in a business affects its working. If this interference is high, business becomes unstable, which is a negative feature of the business. Now the fifth is government policy towards business. Government formulates various types of policies which have direct effect on a business. For example, industrial policy, fiscal policy, etc. If government policy towards business is favorable, it affects business positively. In alternative case, business is likely to suffer. Now the sixth, that is government policy towards foreign companies. In this, government of a country may design policy towards foreign companies If the policy is in a favor of foreign companies, local organizations may suffer. And the last one is administrative system. Administrative system includes how work of a government is carried out by its employees. If this system is highly bureaucratized, it leads to inefficiency and delay in a work performance. Okay, now we have understood about the factors of political environment. Now the last, that is, we will see factors of legal environment. In this, the first one we will see, that is laws governing business operations. In this, we can say every country prescribes specific laws which every business organization has to follow. In India, the laws governing business operations are in a very comprehensive form, covering almost all aspects of the business operations. Understood? Okay. Now the second one, that is laws for different forms of business organization. There may be specific laws for different forms of business organization. In India, there are different legal provisions which govern different forms of business organizations like partnership firm, cooperative society, joint stock company, government companies, statutory corporations, etc. The third one is laws for getting government clearance. Many business organizations in India are required to obtain clearances for their operations. For example, for import, export, foreign technical collaboration, doing business in a foreign country, etc. Laws exist for all such purposes. And the last point we will see, that is laws regarding employment. For some types of organization in India, particularly in public sector, there are legal provisions regarding employment of a persons based on caste and other factors. Legal environment of India provides two types of conditions, that is relevant to business, facilitating laws which encourage business operations like electronic filling of records, electronic mode of payment to the government, etc., and restrictive laws like strict adherence to a plethora of acts related to business operations such as the Factories Act, Trade Union Acts, etc. Okay, now we have understood the five environment or the five factors of different environment which are affecting the business environment. Thank you so much. If you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.